MOBINA Galore. Hello, ladies.
Hi.
Hello.
And you just got off stage at the Manchester Punk Festival to an absolutely packed house. People were going nuts for you. Is this your first time playing Manchester?
No, is it?
No.
It's our. I think it's our second or third. What do you think?
We played here with Against Me, I don't know, a year ago or something like that, and then we did a small show, our own show last year, and this has got to be up there with the best for sure.
Yeah, so I can feel the buzz coming off of you. You really enjoyed the audience, the people, and how the set went?
Yeah, I had a blast. It was very hot in there.
Oh God, yes.
It's a pretty safe bet to be playing before an amazing band like Propagandhi. People are stoked. They're just getting more stoked. Like, I think that any band is lucky to have that slot, and so we were the lucky ones tonight.
Yeah. Definitely lucky, but well earned and well deserved.
Thank you.
And I find it interesting. You guys are just a two-piece. Why did you stick as a two-piece and not become a 3 or 4-piece?
I think it was kind of it wasn't necessarily a conscious decision. We started out with an old band. We had a keyboard player, very different than what we are now. And when she didn't feel like playing music anymore, we kept on with the two of us. And I've always been into punk rock, so kind of wanted to get more into that side of things. And it just kind of and then here we are now, you know. So it's like whatever happened in the middle was just the way it was. And people are always like, "I'll be your bass player," you know, and it's flattering, but I think it's been working so far with a duo, and so we're going to stick with it.
You don't need a bass player. Your sound is so full. You just don't need it. You guys make it. You don't realize that there's not. So
yeah, it's a challenge in itself to write as a duo, and I think that we've become used to that I don't even know what the dynamics would be if we had another member, whether it's another guitar or another bass or bass player, whatever it may be. I can't even imagine it, to be honest.
That's good though, because you see your band as yourselves, just the two of you getting out there and playing the music that you love and writing what you love to do.
Yeah.
So. And where else are you going on this tour then?
You can take this one.
Can I? Can I see your flippy floppy?
Well,
Jenna's very smart, and so we get asked this question, but we all, like, on the spot, it's so hard to remember cities' names, especially when they're in a country that you're not very familiar with.
Yeah.
So Jenna like prints up these laminates for me, but I don't keep them on me because I am the most unorganized person ever. And despite her best efforts, I'm like, I know that we're playing Warrington tomorrow. I know that we're playing London the next day. And then I know we have the day off and we're going to see Propagandhi play in Amsterdam that day. And then we're mostly in Germany.
Okay.
Other than like one show in Switzerland, one show in Belgium.
You nailed it.
Did I nail it?
You nailed it.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Thank
Good
you.
memory.
Thank you.
Good memory.
It took some talking through, but I got there.
And how often do you guys play Europe? Do you come over a lot from Canada, or?
Yeah, this is our 5th time over here. It's our 3rd time in the UK. It's a bit tougher in the UK. It's more like playing Canada or the States, where Europe is just like, they just love you and they have no idea who you are. Then there's 100 people at your show. It's like, what are you doing here? And so the UK it's a little bit harder. It's like back home, so they make you work for it, which is good. It costs a bit more to come over here, but like you gotta put the time in, you gotta put the money in, and the people will eventually come to the show. And we get opportunities like Manchester Punk Fest and playing a show with Iron Chic. So we're gonna keep doing it because it's fun. Yeah.
And how is the scene in Canada? You're from the west coast of Canada, if I remember correctly.
We live right in the middle of Canada, but we met out on the coast and the west coast, and then I'm from the prairies, so there's a bunch of stuff. So a lot of people end up thinking we're from the coast, but we live. No one knows where we're from. We're from dead center of Canada, called Winnipeg. Yeah, we're from Winnipeg. Every city is so different. Canada's so big that. I don't know. Like I said, it's like here. You got to go back to the same city, a dozen times before people start really showing up, singing along to your songs. But we've been doing it in Canada for a while now. So every city's got their own scene. Winnipeg's got a really great punk scene. Edmonton's got a good scene. You just got to find the crowd and just keep going back there.
Yeah, and just keep working at it and getting yourselves known. Yeah. And what do you think the difference is between the scene in Canada and other places you've played?
That's a good question. Canada can be pretty bad for like hospitality. So not in terms of like, there's lots of really cool venues, but
I
like,
wouldn't say they're bad for hospitality. I would just say that Europe is extraordinary for hospitality.
On the continent, yes.
So, yeah. So when you play that and then you're like, holy crap, what have I been doing wasting my time in Canada and the States all this time? Like,
pay for beers.
yeah,
and food,
like you're lucky to get like, you know, a couple drink tickets and in Canada and the States. But that's what we were used to until we played Germany for the first time a few years
Germany
ago.
will take care of you like you're the long lost relative.
Exactly. Like they're making you dinner, they're catering to your, you know, dietary needs, and like they're making you breakfast the next morning, and they're like, what do you like to drink? The answer is everything. So yeah, I would say that Germany specifically is extraordinary, and Canada is much like a lot of other places.
Yeah.
For touring.
People are, the one thing that I found when we were on tour with Against Me, we did 6 shows in the UK, and I found after the show on social media, because I know how important being on social media is, like as a band and stuff, and going on, we'd have so many people tagging us on Twitter, on Instagram, and all that stuff, and then as soon as we went over to Europe, people are more attentive, but they're not spreading the word over social media. So it's kind of an interesting balance. And Canada and the States are more like the UK in that regard, where people are constantly on their phones taking videos and stuff. And Europe, they're more attentive, but then they're not necessarily...
They're not spreading the word.
Not necessarily spreading word, but then there's just more people at the show. It's just a weird... It's a weird...
It's more word of mouth there. It really is.
Sure. Yeah, and like reading like a physical newspaper or zine or online blogs and stuff like that. So yeah, it's kind of nice to get that social media attention. I'm looking forward to seeing if anyone posted some photos of us tonight and retweet and just kind of get the word out there, because it's important that way. Yeah.
Definitely. And what's next? What are you guys up to then?
After this tour, we're home for like 2 days, and then we are going to head out to Ontario and Quebec and play a bunch of shows with some friends in a band called Typesetter, and then play a few shows in the States on the way back to Winnipeg, and then I think we're like home for, I don't know, a month and a half or so, and then we'll go on another big tour.
Back out on the road?
Yeah, we need to work on our new album. It's been like a year and a half since our last record, so we gotta start working on that. We gotta stop touring in order to write, so it's just balancing that out for the rest of the year, I think.
Have you written anything yet, or?
We've got like a dozen songs, but they're barely anything. They're shells. There's lyrics, there's like maybe structure, but it's a long way from where we need it to be.
It's something that's brewing back here, and all of a sudden will just hit.
Yeah, exactly. We just need some time at home, and we'll have that this summer, and yeah, it'll be good.
Well, I look forward to hearing that, and I look forward to seeing more of you, and I really hope you guys get the success I think you deserve. So thank you very much for speaking with me.
Thanks a lot for getting a hold of us.
Thank you.